I didn't lie when I said I had RPG Maker. Hey everyone, Kaiso here with another video. This has been a big ass update, so I might as well have a big ass update. That makes sense, right? They got this thing called the team battle, and I'm a little bit upset because I'm on Team Celestia, and I can't change the team. I don't even have Celestia. Why am I on that team? The Unique Stone event is back, and I deadass keep forgetting to finish it. Oh, yeah, I'm only this far. What stone to pick? What stone to pick? What stone to pick? Oh, duh. Duh. I forgot. I said I was gonna get this, and then I completely forgot. Yes, please. The new legendary player is Exus. Honestly, he looks really young for 32, first of all. And second of all, I like his unevolved form better because his laugh kind of just brings me life. Also, with his skill set, I kind of figured that he would be a frontline attacker. I mean, come on. No, it was this one. Like, it charges with a pass. I've also discovered, kind of, that this kind of has a cap, I think. Because I've seen the decreased penetration go up to 63%. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but it goes up really high. One more thing before I move on to the next thing. How much you want to bet with the AI, if you don't fully invest in that active, he's just going to penetrate the goalkeeper right then and there. I have a feeling that's going to happen. Oh yeah, Kaidor moves back. I should actually try to build him now. Who do I get? Who do I get? Who do I get? Who do I get? Absolutely nothing. I think now's a good time to move on to players. I wasn't lying when I said I was going to build Duran. I actually did, kind of. He's not complete yet, but he is built somewhat. I need to figure out what stone setup to put on him, because I'm not sure how to build him, to be honest. What I had originally was a Calm Icicle build, but right now that's on Haru because I was doing some stuff. This was my original build that I had, since I don't really have much of anything else to put on him. So, not sure if this is a good build. Probably isn't, because you know everybody wants Eye of the Storm, but that's my build. That's how I do it. I also wasn't lying when I said I was gonna 7-star. Yes, the fuck it is your turn. Damn. Yeah, his passives kind of just made me want to build him because I'm crazy. That's the only way that I can actually describe it. I'm crazy. I'm just freaking crazy. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna put these on somebody else that needs them. Lucifer has also been built. I don't know what stone he had in this one, but yeah. Kurad is getting a recall, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I don't know who I would recall him for, to be honest. I ended up getting Leon. Don't know how to build him. And I got this Shota dude. The other reason why I actually have him built is because I feel like this is me on a spiritual level, to be honest. I mean, look, he's tiny as shit, okay? He's like a child. His active is called Ice Flower, and he has some sort of interaction with Avnor. Yes, it is a competition chain, but that's the easiest chain to accomplish. So, that counts. It fucking counts. I also still don't know how to build Levanter, but I built him. This was a Shaking Heart of Thunder. I don't know where that went. Oh. There. And I also got Queen out of nowhere. You know, if there's ever like a recall for legendary players like this, I would be okay recalling her, but that's only because, well, firstly, I don't know how she works. Secondly, I'd rather have a shoe, so that way I don't have to get a friend to have a shoe, so that way I can use it in my matches, and it just makes it easier. I'm not sure if you guys noticed throughout this entire video, but I actually do have a slot attribute change ticket, and I'm not sure if I explained that in my Junice video, but I'm still saving that for Balthion. But they also have a slot attribute select ticket, and I'm hoping that's available to get through free play, like free events, because I'm gonna need that. I really hate the gambling system, to be honest. Leo is a very big prime example of this, because this dude decided to have me reroll 8 times just to get a whirlwind slot so that way I can put this dragon's bone on him.
앞면이면 패배, 뒷면이면 승리.
Like, he wants to be on my team so bad, and yet he doesn't want to get the right stone slot build? What am I supposed to do? Just stick on just freaking encompassing soul on him, call it a day? No! I'm not gonna do that. He needs penetration. Well, my Leo needs penetration. Lucian is finally level 70, and not level 69. Not level 69. When the hell did I get her? Seriously, when did I get her? If anybody has any idea on how to build this guy, I would definitely and gladly take your advice, because I don't know how to build him either. Let's get back to Duran, actually, because I just realized something. I really have no idea, like, how he's so strong, literally, because the way that he works, all of his entire skill set is just him being a gigantic totem, and yet people have him as a line breaker. And I try to use this build, and it doesn't seem to work that well. I really just don't understand it. Maybe I need to put Flight of Neo-Human on here, or something. I don't know. If anybody has an idea on how to build him for a line breaker build, let me know. I mean, I really do not like totem builds like that, just because I kind of like my players to do something, you know? Like, be able to attack or defend or anything. I mean, barring AI, because AI is just ass. There's no changing that. But even with Magnus, like, I may have had a 1,000 watches build on him, but that's just because he had the reflect damage going on, and I put that back on him. But now, right, he can actually attack and defend and do all this other crap just because I put the Judgment Radiance on him. And Judgment Radiance already got kind of a buff, so it's better. One of the things that really stuck with me that somebody said about my presentation was that, yeah, I was a little shy at first because, you know, that's me. I actually do not like to present. But by the time I got a little bit more into it, I actually became a lot more passionate and my personality flared up a lot. So I think that's why I feel like making this video would help me, you know, get out of that slump that I'm in. I mean, it's kind of working, I think. I think some of my passion is, like, coming out. But at the same time, I think that's a little bit why I feel like maybe I should continue to make these videos, because people do actually enjoy them. And my passion for this has been actually pretty nice. And I don't mean passion, like, for this game in general, like, I'll, you know, make the best team ever. No, I mean passion for stupid shit, like the Husbando team with Avnor Ace that doesn't really have an Ace Burst. I guess I'm gonna make another WDI video. How about, yeah? Does that sound like a good idea? I think that sounds like a good idea. I feel like I've developed that thing from one of my other teachers, talking to himself while I'm doing presentations such as this. I haven't. I've been doing that from day one. But let's see, who do I want to make this video on?
상대가 될까?
Nah, that's too easy. Remind me later to actually make a playlist for these WDI videos, because I am losing track of who I talked about and who I did not talk about.
이기기 위해서다.
Yeah, I think this might be good. I think this will be okay. Hey, okay, this is gonna be a WDI Edward video. Edward Cullen looking head ass.
망설이지 않겠다.
You won't hesitate to do what? Square up or shut up? Okay. So, as usual, let's go over the format. We're gonna talk about his ace skill first, because I actually do happen to use his ace. We're gonna talk about his skill set. We're gonna talk about the stone build that I have for him. And then we're gonna talk about possible stones that he can use. Keep in mind that he is an assist, so his stone options are a little bit limited. However, since he's a player who actually does kind of matter where you place him, as you can see in the squad bonus, I did not realize I was called a squad. He has a little bit more options, in my opinion. His ace skill is a Dark Thunder ace. He will increase their reflex by 25% or 42, and the action speed by 25% or 42 of the Thunder and Dark players in the entire team. Now, if you saw my Diamond Climb video a few months ago, I actually happened to make it to Diamond using an Edward ace throughout Platinum, and Platinum was like the hardest league that I've had to go through until I got to Diamond. I'm still stuck at Diamond whenever I try to go to there, whenever I have the time to climb. But the reason why I use his ace over anybody else's is, well, obviously, Husbando. It's obviously because he's a Husbando. Like, come on. Although I do think that there are some other Dark Thunder aces that are male that count as Husbandos, but I'll have to double check that. Oh, right, Pimple. Pimple's got a Dark Thunder ace, but I don't consider Pinola Husbando just because he reminds me of this other person that I know in real life that I'm not really on good terms with. However, I do use him for PvE, literally just because of the soul washing. Oh, Barlow's one too, but he's old. When he evolves, he turns into a horse, so that's bestiality. His action speed boost isn't that much, so there's that. And that's pretty much it for our Dark Thunder Husbando aces. That's kind of the thing that I appreciate about Dark Thunder, is that there are a lot of options. Like, despite Thunder not having that many Husbandos in the first place, there are actually quite a lot of options for Dark Thunder Husbandos. Because we got Edward, we got Avnor, come on. That's like the main thing that sold me. Avnor's a Dark Husbando and he's affected by this. Plus his reflex and action speed. Two of my favorite stats in the entire game. So, right then and there, that is my main ace. Not only that, his Leventor fusion skin is, like, really nice. I like it. However, people are, like, downvoting me because I just figured it out. But, like, y'all, I've had brain farts for the past year, okay? Take it easy on me, please. So his skill set, well, he's a forward passer. So his active is going to be a forward pass that is basically a Scylla pass. However, the only thing about a forward pass and a inline pass is that this is interrupted by interceptors. The thing with this is that it only recovers the action bar by 30, so it really only benefits people who are already at high enough action bar, like 70% or 65% even. So they gotta be ready to move by the time they get the ball. And I know that it's about 60 to 70% because whenever people receive the ball, their action bar increases by a little bit. I do use this forward pass a lot. It's really useful whenever they don't have an interceptor. However, even when they do have an interceptor, it's really helpful to get someone who can easily steal the ball, like Ash or somehow Gerard. I don't know why Gerard can do that, but he does. So yeah, if you ever happen to use a forward passer, I feel like you would need Ash or someone who can drain the spirit easily, so that way you're not interrupted like that. Or run multiple forward passers, that works too, so that way they at least intercept. But I don't know, that's just me. His first passive increases the reflex and recovers 10% of the lost HP every 3 minutes of the allies within the position. This is a support thing. The reflex still remains, like, I'm pretty sure that stacks. So after 15 minutes in-game, that would be 25% reflex increase with, well, 10% recovered each 3 minutes, because the 10% of recovery, it does not stack, so it's just going to be 10% at that given time, and that's something that I learned a while ago. Like, it's not going to be like 10% there, and then next time 20%, and then after that 30%. No, that'd be busted as hell. Let's not have that. But it is rather helpful, especially for high reflex backlines if you want to specialize in reflex, which I do. I do love reflex. Not only that, but since it's every 3 minutes, and he revives the entire line, it's literally... Oh, damn. Well, anyway, it's literally an entire line revive in this case. And that vibration meant that I'm running out of space, so let me... I got it. It's because I was actually hoarding videos of me trying to clear his match. I actually cleared that with 5% enervation, by the way. I don't know how, but I did, so that's fun. It's really fun. But anyway, yeah, this would also be a reason why I would run him in the backline sometimes, albeit that's very rare for me to do, but I do it sometimes. His second passive is Vampiric Instinct number 2. It increases the damage that the enemy in the position receives by 30%, and steals the remaining HP by 5% when the enemies within the position take an action. This only activates when placed in a main or sub position, and this is why I said it's very important that you follow his main and sub squads, because right now he's in a main squad, so he gets, I guess, most of his boosts, kind of. Just kind of. But it's mainly to activate this one, because with this, he basically revives every single time somebody takes an action. And if you combine this with Jacob, and if you happen to put a co-op build on him, then that's kind of a reason why you would want to run this in this main or sub squad position, because your backline would never frickin' die. Possibly. But based on these two passives, that's what I feel like Edward is based on, since he's kind of like a vampire virus infected person. The way that he works is that he's supposed to be kind of immortal, like he just keeps reviving right after every single thing happens. So that's kind of a thing. He's like a zombie. He's like a zombie, basically, except he drains the opponent's HP. So he's like a vampire zombie. His third passive increases the recovery effect by 300% and decreases the incoming damage by 40% when his HP is 60% or lower. This kind of reminds me of Never Die, how it increased the defense and decreased the incoming damage by like 60% whenever the goalkeeper was below 60%. I think Ronald still has that. No, he doesn't. But he used to. He used to have that. Granted, it wasn't that good of a skill since he was a goalkeeper, but it's pretty nice. Oh, not there. Since his recovery effect is not affected by a super gravity, he'd be recovering 4 HP every tick. That means he'll be recovering 4 times as fast as anybody else in the team until he reaches 60% HP. And the decrease in damage by 40%, I don't think that's going to be enough to save him, unless he has penetration resistance. Just because decreased damage it gets treated lower with penetration. And a lot of backliners do have penetration just because of that. However, he does steal the HP by 5% from everybody, so that might help mitigate that. Mitigate, look at me using smart ass words. But yeah, all in all, I feel like his skill set is all about trying to survive repeatedly and then get the ball to the front as easily as possible, because, you know, reflex, that thing, and, you know, all that bullcrap. However, I think this goes away whenever he dies, so I think he won't have that much reflex, but he is pretty fast. On to the stone setup. I think that's what I had? I don't know. But as you can see, I've got Blue Pass, Praise Sentence, Dark Steel or Dark Action Speed, I forget what I usually put in there, and Red Pass. This is a passing Spirit Generator build. This Praise Sentence is supposed to be put on my Baltheon after I reroll him, hopefully on the first try. Because Baltheon's a bitch. That's Blue Pass is literally because he doesn't have a red slot, so I had to improvise. And this increases the reflex by 16% when being attacked, so if the opponent does not have counterattack resistance when he gets attacked, he'll have a chance to steal the ball after he recovers, so that might prove useful later Red pass is obvious, literally, because it generates spirit on a pass. And if he just has a red pass with his forward pass, I'm using pass a lot, it's literally a net 0 because he uses 50 for the pass and then he gains 50 after he passes. Net 0. Dark Steel is if you want to use him as a defender type person, since he is pretty fast, kind of, relatively speaking. He is about as fast as Zhenlong, I think. Let's see. 353. 382. Okay, he's not as fast as Zhenlong, but he is pretty freaking fast. Faster than Avnor. I'm a little bit upset at that, but whatever. And if you just want him to move as fast as possible and pass as fast as possible, then I would recommend Dark Action Speed. I don't know where mine went, but Dark Action Speed helps him move faster. It's counterattack resistance. Put it together. That's what it is. Let's get into stones that he can possibly use, shall we? His stone setup is Thunder, Whirlwind, and Dark. Luckily I remembered that before I moved screens. So first, let's look at Thunder. Since he is an assist, Silent Cold kind of comes to mind easily because pass effect by 30, critical damage by 10%. However, he's a backline passer, so this might not be as good. But if your backline does rely on critical rate, I think it could find some use there until you can find another passer to use this. Calm Icicle is really an interesting choice to me if he's in the backline, because then he has the chance to counter attack people and then forward pass from there, which could prove useful. I don't know, I still need to try that, but I think it'd be pretty fun to do. Nah. If you don't care about how much he passes for, then this might be good. But then again, it's only on the sides. Unless you're using him in the center column, in which case, again, like I said with Janice, why? Let's look at Whirlwind now, shall we? This with Crimson this with CCJ, Crystallized Crimson Jade, say that 5 times fast. This could prove useful as well because of his last passive and his Vampiric Instinct that causes him to not take so much damage whenever he gets attacked. And the thing that I realized is that if he's not the one being attacked, his Vampiric Instinct passive actually acts as an increase to reflect damage. So that's something to think about. If you want to abuse the inflict HP damage on people, then this would be nice. Oh, and it's increase in attack power. That's even more fun. Obviously a totem stone. And now we get to dark stones. I actually used to use this stone on him before, but that's only because I didn't have the praise sentence. This does well for what it does, except it's only critical rate. But then again, it's 10%, and 10% is rather crucial. Transfer of Corruption. If for some reason their frontliners have counterattack resistance, this would be something that you might want to use. But I wouldn't recommend it for like high level play, obviously. Actually, that's pretty much it. Oh god, that's... he's an assist, I expected as much. So the reason that I use Edward as a husband, though, he's okay, except I'm not really a big fan of his regular artwork, because this is just a little bit too on the nose. Like, I don't know, it's just not my style. Like, it's good artwork, I'll give it that, but this is more my style. But the other reasons are because he's a forward passer. I do like forward passes. Since he is a forward passer, I can actually use him with Van, who I probably need to 7-star because I've been meaning to try and use him. I removed his stones for Leventer, though. And then, I don't really think I have much of a other reason that... Obviously his ace is good for my team, because that Diamond Climb video. I don't know, I don't really have much of another reason to use him outside of, you know, actually mechanical reasons. I think he was the first superb boss I got, actually. I don't remember. Oh, no, never mind. It was Alice. Alice was my first superb boss, I think. I think that was my first superb boss. It's either that or Yu Jung. Speaking of which, when is she getting an extreme evolution? It's kind of off-putting that she doesn't have an extreme evolution yet, but it's been like an entire freaking year since she came out, and then she's like the first dimension boss, and yet Crabius got an extreme evolution before she did. I don't have Crabius to show y'all, but it's a little bit off-putting to see that. But I'm getting off topic. I don't really have much of a reason to use Edward that is not mechanic-wise, but I do have to say the Venture mix artwork is pretty nice. Also, I can make Edward Cullen jokes. I feel like this video has been rather lackluster, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to make some updates to characters that I've already said in my WDI videos. So that's gonna be even more fun, shall we? So ever since I made that video, Zhenlong has gone through a rather extreme change in my opinion. So instead of recovering 40% action bar and decreasing the damage he receives by 40% to himself, now he does it to the entire line, right there, and he only recovers 20% of the action bar, but it's to the entire line, and it's also a spirit generation. The thing is, this kind of made him from a selfish player to a team player, which I can actually really appreciate, but the thing is, with this change, it kind of ruins me running a Jimyong frontline with him, because now this doesn't really affect him that much. And that means that I can't really run Leo with Zhenlong, because that's not really helpful to him. You know who I would have to use? Felix. Bitch ass. And because of this, you've seen the event earlier in the video, I assume, if you haven't skipped through, but I am getting Ancient Stormer for him, and since I do love Zhenlong, and he holds a very special place in my heart, right next to Avnor, except Avnor takes about 5 times that much, I'm going to be getting Ancient Stormer for him, instead of Shaking Heart of Thunder, or Calm Icicle, or anything like that, because for Ancient Stormer, it's 25% action bar when he attacks additionally, so he'll be recovering 45% action bar with an attack, combined with critical strategy. So he'll be back to his former glory, kind of, but now he won't be able to get action bar almost full whenever he attacks with a critical hit. I think Chrono was the second one that I said. I'm pretty sure Chrono was the second one. I actually already did a redo on Chrono. I don't think I need to say anything else. I actually remember Avnor was the third one that I did. I got him to 30 APU, hypermaxed him, except for his clovers because memes. I'm hoping that he gets another skin that's like really, really hot. I mean, as much as I do appreciate the otaku vibe, I just love the pretty boy aesthetic more. But anyway, he also went through the same change that Zhenlong did, and his Genius Touch now affects the entire line, and it recovers HP! That's like the best thing out of everything. However, that also means, again, I can't run Leo with him, and I can't run Jin-Myung with him, so that's kind of a bummer. So I have to put him on hold. But the revive is amazing, because this, combined with Edward, maybe with Jacob in there, that's a backline that just refuses to die, and I'm gonna have to try that out later. Chundo has not changed that much, but with my new legendary unique stone, he can actually use the Essence of Greed, and use it to quite an impressive degree. With Jin-Myung, mind you, because this is also affected by Are You Out of Your Mind? So he'd be recovering, what's 30% of 20? Oh shit. 26% action bar combined with 65% attack power increase. So that's a lot. But anyways, with that, combined with Kevin, combined with Jin-Myung, he gets to 80% action bar really easily by himself. And with the attack power increase, he can actually manage to clear Coliseum of Trials 4-4 by himself. I forget how I did it before, but he's pretty good. He's just rude. Really, he's rude. Lin Mei has not changed for me. Michael still hasn't changed for me, actually. Granted, I probably did change his stones since the last time I did a video on him, but he's still doing really well. He's really strong. However, sometimes he doesn't do enough damage, and I'm not sure why, but I'm pretty sure I'll find out a way where I can boost his damage output, maybe by taking out Flight of Neo-Human. Jacob has gone the Edward route, and with his desire for victory too... Oh wait, no, it's competitive spirit. He actually gains lost HP by 20% and recovers spirit whenever an ally within the position takes an action. So he's also a zombie. It's great. I could probably put him in like, well, actually no. Nah. But it's still really great because he revives himself, which means I can get the critical rate and stuff really easily now, especially since it's additional spirit. Unfortunately, since I made my legendary unique stone, I had to use Teddy's Terranox blood, so now he has a thunder slot. Sometimes I like to put Shaking Heart of Thunder in there, but for some reason his damage output is also hindered by that, so I'm thinking maybe I should just get another, what's it called? Another Terranox blood and put it on there, because now I can put Thunder Penetration on there, and he'd be recovering action bar a little bit more. Just maybe, just maybe. I kind of changed to a Crystallized Crimson Jade build for Yonghe, but the thing is, I don't really use it that much anymore, because I have a lot of frontline units that I value kind of a lot more than my Narcolepsy Boy. However, whenever he is in, he does help a lot. I still have a dedicated team that uses him as an ace, so that's kind of more than enough reason for me to keep the stone build that I have on him right now. Where the hell did this green steel go? I think that's all I did, actually. Oh gosh, did I not make that many videos? I didn't even do Gerard yet, huh? Or Magnus.
야! 승부다!
Okay everybody, this is gonna be WDI Magnus. Same video, I don't have to do that whole do we know the format thing. I don't know why I have 6, superbs, or amplifies, by the way. I don't know. I don't think I got them that many times. But anyways, let's get into it. Counterattack resistance, critical resistance of Whirlwind to light players. Not much to go for unless I'm going defensive. Plus, I don't really have a Whirlwind light team ready at the moment. I might make one actually. That'll be fun. His active is Natural Profit 3. Increases the attack power and defense by 25% for 15 minutes. I'm not sure how much of an influence that is, but for some reason it seems to work. I don't know why. It just works. Like, if anybody has, like, calculators, or if they know how much of a difference this makes, please let me know, because I want to know how much it actually influences the game, because I feel like this influences it a lot. But you know, it's an active. Recently, the spirit cost for this one got decreased from 1.5 bars to 1 bar, so that's something that I really appreciate, to be honest. His first passive is Control Blue Flames. This decreases the damage that the allies within the position take from Ardor and Thunder players within the position by 30%. Oh. I did not realize that. So that means if they're in like the back line, then they're pretty much taking the full damage. Oh god. But anyways, with this is kind of like an easier method on decreasing the damage that you take from a William, or from a Van, or from a Levanter. Granted, I don't think it's that much, but then again, I don't think my goalkeepers are that strong in the first place, so that's something. This is kind of the thing that makes him, as far as I remember, he was kind of plug and play back in the day, but this is just me reciting stories that I heard. I'm not sure if he was, but he was a really good player back then. Also because reflex. Speaking of reflex, his second passive is All Prepared 2. This increases his max HP by 35% and his reflexes by 35%. Magnus is a reflex beast. He already has 2,000 reflex in the back line, comparatively to the rest of my team. Like, if he can get to 3,000 reflex, that'd be great. I don't know how I'm gonna do that within a husbando team, but I know I'm gonna find a way. But it also kind of counteracts with his ace skill because it's counterattack resistance. But then again, if he has high reflex, and he has high counterattack resistance, that basically means there's like a 1% chance that he's gonna get counterattacked, so I think they go hand in hand together. I don't know. But it's great, but it's nice, especially with the HP. His last passive is Breaking the Forbidden Promise. Breaking the Forbidden Secret Promise, that's a long ass name. It increases the action speed by 20, increases the max HP by 30%, and decreases the incoming damage by 10% within the allies within the position. This used to be a strong effect back before he got nerfed. This was kind of a nerf, because I remember this was like 25% action speed, 30% HP, and 15% decreased damage, I think. I'm gonna cross-reference that later, but I do think it was 15%, and so they thought that it was too strong, so they decreased that by 5% of the action speed and the decreased damage. It's like a 3-in-1 totem, and that's kind of why people would want to put him in the backline automatically, despite the first passive being hella situational. But, you know, he's still good in his own right, in my opinion. Hopefully, if you ever decide to build him, he'll support your team as much as he can as well as he does in mine. Now, let's get on to stone builds, shall we? I'm pretty sure you all saw this earlier, but I have a Judgment Radiance build. I got critical damage for the spirit. I've got green action speed for the action speed. I could use penetration. I could use green penetration in here. I've got Judgment Radiance for the attack power boost, and I've got a light reflex. Magnus is kind of like a reflex tank for me. However, if I could, like if I had the mindset to do it, I'd probably run Ancient Cry with 2 light reflexes, just cause, I don't know, but it just sounds like it'd be good for me. But right now, he has a Judgment Radiance build, which means he'd be recovering every time he does damage. 25% of the damage that he dealt, which is nice. I could put green steel on him too. But yeah, this also decreases the incoming damage that he takes by 20% when holding the ball, so if I manage to get his dribble up a lot, he could potentially be a line breaker. Because naturally his power is really low. Like, you can even see it here, it's the lowest stat that he has, but his technique's really high, which is why he has high reflex. And light reflex is literally just because of the spirit on counterattack, because I do like to generate spirit, considering Damien has that 1.5 spirit bar action active. I feel like there are multiple ways to build Magnus, so this is just one of my builds. You don't have to take it to heart, but that's just how I build him. But speaking of which, stone slots are whirlwind and light. Let's get it. Yeah, this might be useful, due to the fact that it increases the attack power for each target with an attack, which means if he penetrates through 2 people, it'd be 70% increase, and then the decreased damage would be 50%, I think, and then, maybe this will be a line breaker build. I have to try that out. I do have Earth's Cry. Since he is on the left and the right, usually, this could be useful due to the fact that this increases the critical rate on the vertical line, so he'd be pretty easily lined up with your striker. Obviously, Eye of the Storm is a very popular choice. And again, you can abuse this. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I really don't... Well, actually, maybe. He already has kind of high enough HP to use this, right? And then we get to light. I've heard people say this is a bad stone, but then again, this is 75% critical rate after an attack, and it's action bar recovery. So I think it's decent to try it out. 1000 Watchers used to be a popular build back then, as far as I know, based on what my friend Zenon told me. And right now, it might be even better because it's reflect damage. 70% when attacked, attack power. The reflex is like, okay, it's there, but 70% when attacked, that's pretty good, as far as I know. I really do not know how this works. If anybody has this, let me know, because that's an increase of 22% for action speed, and then 40% attack power with an attack. But the thing is, I thought it only increases by 2% right then and there. I don't know. Y'all, I'm actually kind of tired. I don't want to do the reroll ones. I really don't want to do the reroll ones, but I do have to say, maybe... no, never mind. Oh! Okay, maybe there is a reason why you would want to run Prayer of Saint, because this is only 15%. Alright, now comes the part of the video where I tell y'all why I use Magnus the way that I do. Obviously, it's because of Control Blue Flames. Duh! That's like the main reason, but the thing is, before I even figured out that that was a thing, I always, like, really liked his last passive, Breaking the Forbidden Secret Promise, because it increases action speed. That's literally the only thing why. Like, I realized that it increases max HP, like, what, 5 months later? I figured it out 5 months later, right after I got him. It was crazy. I didn't even realize that that happened. But anyways, aside from that, and aside from being a reflex tank, I actually just really like him. I just really like him, because the thing is, when I first got him, I kind of scouted him, I think. I'm pretty sure I scouted him. I don't think I got him in the draw, but I was like, okay, he kind of hot. Oh my god, because I saw him in the basic form, right here. I was like, okay, he got I mean, first of all, I thought he was fat. Again, like I did with Jacob, I thought he was fat. I don't know what's with me in that, but I don't know. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. No, I think it would have been really, really great if he was. So, in my mind, I think that despite looking, you know, kind of normal, he actually is pretty heavy. He's pretty heavy set for some reason. But that's just me. What the hell? So, and then when I got him, I actually thought he barked at me. Cause,
야! 승부다!
look me in the face and tell me that is not a bark. I legit thought that was a bark. I thought he was barking at me, and that kind of just like, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that comment actually has a few likes on here. Hold up. Yeah. And then he got a new skin. Obviously, when that skin came out, I was like, okay, he's getting a nerf. He's definitely getting a nerf. Because whenever somebody gets a new skin, they get a nerf. Obviously, I don't think that's like an actual trend, but that did happen with Zhanlong, and that did happen with Avnor, except Avnor got a buff on his. And, you know, before I even had this skin, I actually used the Snowboarder skin, and that also kind of made him look kind of chunky, which I loved, so I was using that for like a good minute. Until I went back to the basic skin, until I got this one, because this one's regal AF. And then, you know, since he's been with my team for a while, and I haven't really had enough space to put him in again, due to the fact that I have so many backliners now, and so many frontliners, I don't have any fun for mid. It's actually kind of depressing. You know, since, you know, I do want to keep Magnus as a special person, just like Zhanlong, and just like Avnor, I actually named my laptop after him. My laptop's name is Magnus, but I call him Magnus and his fat ass because my laptop is actually kind of heavy. It's like 15.6 inches for a screen, and it's like kind of heavy. But you know, it's like how, I don't know why, I just named my stuff after my players, because my laptop's name is Magnus and his fat ass. My speaker's name is an it's an Unz Angle 3, like the smaller version. It's not the big version, but I call it Babydamian because it's so tiny, but it's so powerful. And then I have my earphones that I named Avnor because it goes with me everywhere. God, I don't know, I feel like I'm weird for that. but you know, I'm secure enough in doing that, so that's the thesis. I really want to get back into using Magnus though, so I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to
피할 수 없겠군.
then I'm gonna 7-star him later. After I 7-star myself.
얕보지 않는 게 좋을 거다.
Okay, I've played that line too many times in this video. He's basically covering everything that Magnus doesn't cover, so that's nice. And that does it for this video. It kind of helped me out of my slump. Maybe. I still feel a little tired though, but you know, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, leave a like. If you want to let me know how I'm doing, go ahead, leave a comment. If you want more content like this, and maybe, you know, listen to the music that I'm making. I am making music. Go ahead, hit that, what's it called? Subscribe button. The subscribe button. Damn, this is how you know I haven't done this in a long time. I forgot what a subscribe button was. But anyways, until I make another video, maybe, I think the next video that I make will be more on my RPG project, so, you know, yeah. See you later.